Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome to another episode of Short Shifts. Every Wednesday, we come at you with a topic. And in case you didn't know, this episode is sponsored by Skate Tech. Skate Tech Skate Sharpening and Equipment Repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening and equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
Okay, it is Short Shifts Wednesday. We're going to pick a hockey topic. Jeff Lavecchio has no idea what the topic is going to be, and should he choose to ride this magic carpet as my co-pilot, we're going to have some fun today. Vex, you ready to rock and roll?
Let's go, Christopher Ryan Scott.
Okay, so I got this. This is a listener question. This is a listener question from Julia up in beautiful Sudbury, Ontario.
Is her last name Gulia?
What?
Is her last name Gulia?
It is not Gulia. Julia. My name's going to be Julia Gulia. Wedding singer for those that don't know. Anyways, this was a phenomenal. First of all, Sudbury, one of the best hockey towns in the entire world, home to the Johnston family, big Cornell people, and Rebecca Johnston, one of the best women's hockey players of all time from up in Canada as well. She got a lot of gold medals. They're really good. But her sister Sarah went to Cornell. She was in my class. I played with Jacob Johnston at Cornell. One of their brothers, just a great hockey family. So good old Sudbury. There we go. But Julia from Sudbury reached out and wanted to know about garbage goals. And this is right up your alley, Mr. Jeffrey Lavecchio.
What are you saying
about If it ain't a breakaway, Crazy Legs Lavecchio, it's going to be a garbage goal. He scored a lot of both of those. So, let's talk about garbage goals, man. And for those that actually, I'll let you explain what a garbage goal is.
Well, I think garbage goals are beautiful. I don't like the term.
I completely agree. Garbage goals are beautiful.
Yes.
However, let's talk about it. Go.
All right. If I was going to define a garbage goal, it's usually mucking and banging. It might go off a skate, might go off a butt cheek, a chest, a face, an elbow, your cup, anything, your knee. It might be just spearing the goalie and the puck just finds its way in there. All right. It's just an ugly goal, and it's usually just getting nasty, gritty, down and dirty around the crease. And they call them garbage goals. However, if you look at any league and see where the most goals are scored from, like the last touch, it's almost always a massive dot pile within 5 feet of the net, maybe even 3. And so, yes, people call them garbage goals, but what I always said to people is they don't ask how, they ask how many, because I scored a lot of those. And they count the same as a breakaway, so I might have gone off my butt cheek cheddar, and it counts the same as if you get a breakaway and go bar down. So, butt cheek meow or bar meow, it's going to be the same.
I don't think there's ever been a more interesting answer to the question of what is a garbage goal ever in the history of hockey than what you just said. I wouldn't even necessarily call them garbage goals. I would call it like grit goals.
Yeah, grit goals.
Like get to the front of the net. And one of my biggest things is they don't ask how, they ask how many. They don't ask how, they ask how many. And there are plenty of players that have gotten Division I scholarships. There are plenty of players that have made great careers for themselves in pro hockey in the NHL by being able to take a beating in front of the net, not be afraid to get to the dirty areas, and pucks going off their ankles, and you, as you so eloquently said, your butt cheeks and whatever,
your cup, your knee, doesn't matter.
You want what's the saying? Like we put a social media post on it a long time ago. It's like, if you want, what is it? You want what?
If you want bread, you go to the bakery. If you want donuts, you go to Dunkin' Donuts. If you want goals, you go to the freaking net.
There you go. And so, like, garbage goals, maybe a part of it being called garbage goals comes from the Mighty Ducks, where you have to clean up the trash in front of the net. But I think they were actually saying garbage goals long before that came out.
Yes.
But anyway, like at the end of the day, there is a will to getting to the front of the net. But I would also argue there's a little bit of an art to getting to the front of the net and understanding body positioning, understanding how to get underneath defenders' hands, understanding how to screen a goalie and getting in front of them, understanding how to turn your body when a shot is shot so you can turn around and spin.
Timing.
And get the rebound and time that. There's an art with hand-eye coordination of being able to tip pucks, both on your forehand and on your backhand side. There's an art to a little bit of poise, right? So the goalie makes the first save and the rebound isn't necessarily right there right away, but maybe you got to hold on to it and bring the puck over to your backhand or something like that. So while it is called garbage goals, like if you're a skilled player and get to those areas, you're going to score a lot of goals. You're going to score 100%. A lot of goals because I think there is an art to it. And I would like to ask you on that. I just gave a bunch of different examples of some different ways where it is more of an art than just a will thing, but I would love to hear your thoughts on that too.
Yeah, and it's so much will for sure, but also like practicing it. Like so many young players want to practice toe drag shot. Nothing wrong with that.
Practice in tight, man. It'll change your life.
Yeah, when you get older, the amount of times you're going to come down the ice full tilt and pull a toey and rip a shot is like one in like not very often. However, the amount of rebounds that are going to be laying around in the crease and the amount of opportunities you're going to have to go to the net, tip, screen, rotate, make in tight plays is almost every shift you're in the neutrals or the offensive zone. So it's like if you really care about scoring goals and you know that the puck has to go to the net to count, whether it's shot from the other end of the ice, the blue line, the hash marks, the wall, it has to go to the front of the net. So if you are there, just by way of that, you're going to get some cheek meows. You're going to get more rebounds. You're going to get tips. You're going to get more opportunities. You're going to get touches where you're just whacking it away and you hit it to the next guy who winds up scoring and you get an apple. And part of that apple was you hitting the puck. Part of it was you just being at the net and defenders having to worry about you and they don't see the next guy coming and he's only open because they're attacking you in the crease. So like it opens up more ice for your teammates too, even in the offensive zone, just staying around the net. If the D-man doesn't go with you, guess who's wide open? You. If they do go with you, you just opened up space between the top of the circles and the net for your teammates to be skating around and making plays. Like in practice, you want to get better at this. Every time there's a shot, play the rebound out, as long as it doesn't ruin the drill, obviously. But if it's a shooting drill and you can wait for the next guy to shoot and just try to figure out, sometimes try to anticipate, okay, I'm going to guess where this rebound's going because a lefty is coming down the left side, so if he shoots it this way, it's probably going to be around here, so I'm going to come up, take an angle where I'm on my forehand like this. And you'll start to note what I realized, and I didn't do this, unfortunately, until I went to Europe, but look how many goals on Elite Prospects I scored in Europe. It's because I started rebounding every single day. Before practice, guys were shooting. I was practicing tips and rebounds with the goalies. After practice, same thing or in tight plays. That's why I started scoring so many goals in Europe because it's not, you don't have to be super skilled and like have this amazing hockey IQ. It's like just go there and out-compete people and start to learn where shots rebound to and where angles, if they're shooting from this angle, usually the rebound's going to be somewhere in this area. You look at like, even guys like Ovechkin and Stamkos, they stand over there for the one-timer, but when they're not getting the puck in those games, you can also see like where their angles are going. So they're in a way where if the puck goes off the far pad, it's coming to them off the pad hot, and it's going to be an empty net, and you see a lot of players do this. So the more that you practice being around the net with intention of quickly getting to the puck and just quick shot, not stick handle. Get to it, quick shot. I'm telling you, you will score more goals.
Yeah, 100%. And just going along with that, I know we don't have too much time here, but just anecdotal evidence of how this works. So my year as a graduate assistant at Miami of Ohio was the year that Andy Mealy won the Hobie Baker. And Meals, at the end of every practice, him and I would take about 10 minutes and we would do all in tight scoring. And the thing that we worked on, it wasn't necessarily the skill side of it. It was the mentality, getting to the front of the net and having the scores mentality. So some of the things that we worked on a lot of different skill stuff, batting pucks down and putting it in, going forehand to backhand. But everything was predicated on shooting to score. Everything was predicated on attitude, shooting to score. And the confidence that I would argue that he built up from that year was incredible. Just by the reps, and not just even the physical reps, but the mental reps of finish. That's all I would yell at him, would be like, finish, attitude, finish, and obviously he won the Hobie Baker that year, not because of that. I would like to think that it helped. He's an amazing talent and a hardworking kid and a great player, but like that work that we did, it really made me realize how important mentality is in front of the net, and just that finisher's strong, confident mentality. And that you can only get through the reps as well. So you talked about like the physical reps of going through it, but also the mental. It's not what you do, but how you do it. That's really important. And I would argue that was an awesome thing, just having that relationship with Meals and going through that. And then him winning the Hobie was sick. So
cool, bro.
Good stuff.
So
Good stuff.
cool.
Hopefully we're giving you guys some tangible things, not just on why garbage goals are important, but Julia, thank you so much for reaching out. If anybody else has any stuff that they want us to talk about on these short shifts, shoot us a note, baby. And time is up.
They were cones.
Cheers.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.